The Marvel Rivals devs talk about why they put out a third-person shooter and also give more insights and information, which I thought would be important to share with you in this video. You can check out the link in the description, which is this particular deep dive from the devs, so I thought I'd read through it. But also I want to give a massive shout out to Miller Ross. As you know, we're covering a lot of what Miller Ross kind of posts on Twitter, which I've been retweeting a lot of it, so make sure to follow on Twitter and also subscribe to the channel, please. We just went over 100 subscribers and that's brilliant. Thank you very much for all the interaction. If anybody comments, I do get back to them, so thank you very much for doing that. And this here is the Spider-Punk 2099, which just goes a little bit further onto a bit of detail. We saw Spider-Punk in some of the various images in a previous video, which I think 2 days ago for Tokyo 2099. Apparently the Spider-Punk 2099 is the character we're going to see, and there's going to be multiple different skins, including this being, I think, the set one rather than something else. So there's a lot to go over in the future when it comes to skins, designs and characters as well. So let's read all about it. So since Marvel Rivals Inceptions, we've been tackling. So let's get into the dev talk. So it says, since Marvel Rivals Inception, we've been tackling one big question. How do we bring superhero combat to life for players? We brainstormed like mad scientists, and one thing we kept coming back to was the need to see heroes you're playing as. It's all about fully embodying your favorite hero or villain, kicking butt in combat and savoring the sweet taste of victory. One thing that I personally found amazing was, I think it was a game called Marvel Heroes VR, which is a game that I've got on my main channel, which I played through. It was a VR game and it was really cool because you could literally just like fire like lightning bolts like Storm. I think you could like fire ice like Iceman, and was incredible. And that's something that we just haven't seen. Even with other Marvel games I've played, you just haven't had that sense of like visceral immersive experience. I'm not saying this game will have it, but it will have some really cool features which I've been missing from a Marvel game. I think as well from Marvel Avengers didn't hit that button for players, so I'm really excited in any case to see what they're cooking up in the next few weeks, months, or even the year. They go on to say, in Marvel Rival, shooting isn't about guns, it's about quick targeting, executing attacks, be it ranged or melee, and feeling the rush of unleashing those ultimate abilities. We're all about that full 3D spatial combat, freedom, and we want players to feel the raw power of their favourite heroes, zipping around using powers and taking down foes with style. To achieve this, we've decided early on to pursue TPS, that's third-person shooter, as our combat core. It's the perfect way to showcase the unique abilities and mobility of our heroes. You'll see every punch, every blast, every spectacular move imaginable as you battle out. The pace is off the charts as allies and foes zip, zoom and zing across the battlefield, making every moment a thrill. With the third-person view, you'll always have a front row seat to the action while witnessing the real-time environment destruction, giving you the edge to strategize, support and synergize with your team to dominate the game. Of course, one of the biggest issues off the bat is just being called a copy-paste of Overwatch. I mean, in a nutshell, yes, but was Overwatch a copy-paste of something else? More than likely. Was that particular game a copy-paste with a few changes from another thing? Probably. Like, it's just going to be gaming. Hey, by the way, there's going to be something that's going to be similar to Overwatch, Call of Duty, any other first-person shooter, third-person shooter, anything like that, in about 50 years from now when you're dead in the ground. That's how the world works. The only biggest kind of like development they can make with any kind of gaming that seems different is to go VR. And guess what? Not everybody's interested in VR. They go on to say the Marvel superheroes and villains come in all shapes and sizes, from the towering Hulk to the tiny Rocket. Just don't tell him that. And that's not forget about their crazy cool powers. We've got ground pounders, sky soarers, flyers, wall crawling wonders, and even some special things you haven't seen. Trust us, making sure they all look amazing is no small feat. We've been playing around with camera rules, tweaking positions, adjusting field of view, and fine-tuning hero performances to make sure they all shine. And as always, we're looking for feedback to make each one even better, so be sure to let us know. And I really hope the developer takes things into consideration. I mean, one big thing is that allowing different maps and like things like the Avengers Tower going right the way through to not Asgard because Asgard's there, but you know, different types of areas unique to the Marvel Universe would just be sublime. The same way that you look at the other games like Marvel Contest of Champions, which is a game that I play a lot of, especially on the main channel, has only recently in the last couple of years added extra fight backgrounds, like the Danger Room, for example, or this is not in MCOC, but this is like, if they put in game like the Xavier Mansion, which of course with the kind of amazing X-Men 97 being a thing. Like imagine if you're on Genosha, Krakoa. Like there's so many different areas and places within the Marvel Universe, on-world or off-world, that could be really vibrant to fight on, especially finding some unique things that are going to allow you to duck behind or kind of get away from danger or use to your advantage or strategize around, finding just good hide holes, camping spots, you name it. And I finally say another challenge is encouraging players to switch from first-person shooter, that's obviously first-person shooter, to third-person shooter. If you used to first-person shooters, leaping into third-person shooters realm might feel a bit like going into a whole new world. You may need a little time to adjust to some new elements, like dealing with your character obstructing the left field, resulting in different aiming and shooting experiences. Disparities between anticipated skill usage distance and the potential for players to gain additional visibility by utilizing cover. We've got your back though, as we are constantly tweaking things to make the transition as smooth as possible, so be sure to let us know how we're doing and what we can do to make Marvel Rivals the ultimate superhero based PvP shooter. And yeah, this is really exciting. I do think there needs to be there's a lot. Like, look, the game hasn't even gone to closed alpha yet. When it does, hopefully I'm able to kind of really get a hands-on feel for it. There'll be a lot of things like how does comms work? Are comms able to be like, is it voice chat? Is it proximity chat? There's going to be so many extras to this. If it's proximity chat, like, I don't know about that, man. It could be a little bit... Look, that would be interesting, but I don't know if it necessarily would be something needed. But you need comms with your teammates. And also you need to synergize well, and communication is going to be key. So I hope there's kind of like a decent voiceover IP that works relatively well. But in any case, it was interesting to get a bit of an insight into the dev diaries. We'll see about more in the future. And that has been the video. I appreciate every one of you for watching and supporting the channel as it grows. And we're going to work hard to grow this even more as the game goes live. And also, hopefully, fingers crossed, next week, get into that closed alpha. Or at least find someone that's able to get some footage. So, yeah, fingers crossed for that as well.